When Minecraft first came out, it could run on almost anything, even a potato. But fast forward to today with ray tracing, shaders, and realistic lighting mods, this simple block game has become a real GPU killer. So, in this video, I'm doing something wild, testing 5 different GPUs, each with a higher price tag, starting from just $2 all the way up to $200. From dusty, forgotten graphics cards to modern mid-range beasts, we'll see how much Minecraft performance your money can actually buy. Let's find out if a $2 GPU can still survive in 2025, and whether spending 100 times more really makes that big of a difference. As for the game, Minecraft is tricky. There are tons of mods, shaders, and custom builds that can change performance drastically. So for fairness, I'll stick with a base version that supports shaders, something that represents a realistic mid-level setup. Of course, results will vary depending on which version or mod pack you use, but this should give us a solid baseline to see how each GPU truly performs. I'm starting this test with the cheapest GPU on the list, and I'll be running all of them on my main setup to make sure every card can reach its full potential. Our first contestant, the legendary GT210. This tiny card has just 512 MB of VRAM, while modern GPUs today can pack up to 32 GB. That's 64 times more memory. To put it bluntly, this thing is even weaker than a 3rd-gen Intel iGPU. Realistically, the best it can do is just output a 1080p image. But hey, we're not here for realistic, right? It's time to see just how much pain this little survivor can handle. Alright, so here we go. I've got everything set up at full HD with 12 chunks for both render and simulation distance. The GPU is already running at full load. While I'm placing blocks around, the FPS hovers around 40, which is actually not bad for these settings. But once I set off a TNT explosion, yeah, the frame rate dips down to about 25 FPS. Not a huge drop, but definitely noticeable. My CPU's clearly doing some of the heavy lifting here, which keeps the gameplay somewhat smooth, even though this is basically the lowest preset possible. Then I switched over to Fabric, kept everything on low, and oh man, it turned into a slideshow. Literally 2 FPS. It felt like I was clicking through a PowerPoint presentation rather than playing Minecraft. Yeah, this GPU's definitely showing its age. Alright, moving up to the $50 range, we've got what might be one of the best deals in budget gaming, the GTX 1060 3GB. You can still find these things on eBay for around $50, and honestly, they're still pretty solid for 1080p gaming. Sure, 3GB of VRAM isn't much these days, but funny enough, that's probably what saved this card, because miners never wanted it. So most of the ones you'll find now haven't been tortured 24/7 in a crypto rig. Its big brother, the 6GB version, costs like $20 more, and yeah, you get double the VRAM, but only about 5 to 10% more performance. Not really worth it unless you're super picky. So let's fire up Minecraft and see what this $50 GPU can actually do. Running Fabric at the same settings as before, the performance boost is insane. We're talking nearly 20 times higher FPS than that $2 card. The gameplay feels super smooth and totally playable, with the frame rate hovering around 200 FPS, averaging about 150, and barely dipping below 130 FPS, even during TNT explosions. When I turned on shaders, things did get heavier. The FPS dropped to around 60, but honestly, that's still perfectly playable and looks great. So yeah, this one's the first card in the lineup that actually feels like a solid budget gaming GPU. Definitely worth considering if you're putting together a low-cost build. Alright, say goodbye to the GTX era. We're stepping into the RTX lineup now, and the star of this tier is none other than the RTX 3050. 6GB, yeah, the one that became a full-blown meme when it first dropped. Why? Well, Nvidia decided to release a cut-down version, lower clock speeds, less VRAM, compared to the original 8GB model. And the performance? Pretty much on par with a GTX 1660 Super from 5 years earlier. So yeah, people weren't too happy about paying more for what felt like yesterday's performance. At launch, it went for around $180, later dropping to $150. But here's the thing, Snug, this card I've got right here cost me just $100. And at that price, the conversation changes completely. I've left a link down below if you want to check it out yourself, but first, let's put this thing to the test and see if the RTX 3050 6GB can finally redeem its name. Alright, let's see what this GPU can really do. Right off the bat, the FPS easily breaks past 200, and gameplay feels buttery smooth. No stutters, no hiccups at all. At some points, while I'm just placing blocks around, the FPS even spikes above 400. When I set off a TNT explosion, yeah, the frames drop a bit, but nothing dramatic. Still super playable, but let's be honest, nobody's buying this card just to play Minecraft on low settings. With shaders turned on, the FPS dips to around 60 to 70, only slightly better than what the GTX 1060, 3GB managed earlier. Still, in terms of stability and overall average FPS, the RTX 3050 clearly pulls ahead. Overall, this GPU is still a great pick in 2025. Perfect if you want solid performance without burning too much power or cache. We've already got one foot in 2026, and let's be honest, if you still want to keep up with modern games, you need at least 8 gigs of VRAM these days. Add in features like ray tracing and DLSS, and suddenly even mid-range gaming isn't what it used to be. Now, among all the cards that can still handle that without draining your wallet, the RTX 2060 Super. 8GB stands out as one of the best value picks you can find. Around $150 used, easy to grab on eBay or anywhere secondhand. When it launched back in 2019, this card was basically the cheaper twin of the RTX 2070. Not quite as strong, but close enough for most gamers. So after all these years, and can it still hold up? Let's jump into Minecraft and find out. The FPS here easily hits around 300. And even after I set off a massive chain of TNT explosions, the lowest dip I saw was about 130 FPS. Not bad at all. It only took a few seconds for the frames to bounce right back up, so clearly this isn't much of a challenge for this GPU. Next, I cranked things up and turned on shaders to see how it performs under full load, and honestly, the results were pretty surprising. The card managed to stay above 100 FPS the entire time, which is really impressive for such heavy visuals. That said, one thing to watch out for is power consumption. This thing draws quite a bit of juice. So if you're gaming for hours every day, you might want to think about something a little more power efficient, unless you don't mind your electric bill going nuclear. Now we're moving into the top end of today's lineup, the $200 tier, and this one's a familiar name, the RTX 3060 12GB. This card was officially launched by Nvidia back in 2021, and when it dropped, it made quite a splash. Why? Because it came with 12GB of GDDR6 memory, more than even the higher-end RTX 3060 Ti or even the RTX 3070 and 3080. Yeah, you heard that right. You might already know this, but the RTX 3060 has actually become one of the most popular GPUs on Steam. Seriously, it's everywhere. And since it's been out for a few years, you can find tons of used ones floating around for solid prices. At the end of the day, that 12GB of VRAM is what keeps this card relevant in 2026. And honestly, it's what makes it such a solid deal in the $200 range. Jumping into the actual gameplay, the FPS sits around 250 to 350, which honestly isn't that big of a jump from the previous GPU. It seems like my test system's CPU is starting to bottleneck a bit, so the GPU can't really stretch its legs to the fullest. During the TNT explosion test, the FPS even dipped slightly below what the RTX 2060 Super managed, and switching to shaders didn't change much either. GPU usage hit a full 100%, but performance stayed roughly the same. The one thing that really stands out, though, is power efficiency. This card uses about 30 to 50 watts less than the last one, which is a huge win for anyone gaming long hours. Sometimes the real advantage isn't just raw FPS, it's how efficiently your GPU performs while saving you a chunk on your power bill. So in this video, we've tested GPUs from the cheapest to the most expensive, all through Minecraft, to really see how much performance your money can buy. I hope this helps you pick the right GPU that fits both your gaming needs and your budget. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Take care, and peace out.